I just rang the bell. I don't know why y'all standing up. Yeah, right. Thanks for being here, everybody. Jeff is jammed up today and can't join us. And Martha's mom, for those of you who are not aware, has been in the hospital and she's taking her home now. So we'll just move forward. What I'm going to do, I'm going to change up the agenda just a little bit. We have people with announcements. And of course, Chrissy wants to talk about foundation. So I'm going to do that in advance of our guest speaker. They're going to need about 15 minutes. So we should be good on time. All right. So past President Jeff, you there, buddy? For our invocation and our pledge.
You bow your heads with me, please. Father, we thank you for the opportunity you give us to live and work in this beautiful place that we call the Texas Hill Country. Lord, I ask that you let us all do the work of Rotary in this meeting as well as outside of this meeting, Father. I ask you to bless this food and nourishment of our bodies. I ask you to be with all the speakers today. Give them the strength and the courage to tell us exactly what we need to hear, and let us all be receptive of that. It's in the mighty name of Jesus we pray. Amen. Amen. If you'll say the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Yes, you ready? All right, brother.
Okay, in honor of our program today, we are singing Home on the Ranch. Okay, so it's the same melody that you all know. So here we go. Oh, give them a home where the livestock can roam and the deer don't eat all the hay, where sometimes is heard a discouraging word and the skies might be cloudy and gray. Home, home on the ranch, where they'll raise their prize-winning stock. They're up with the sun and they work till it's done in the hopes of a grand champion prize. Oh.
Past President George is a modern marvel. I think we should probably start the statue now, you know, and get you in bronze. Terrific. Is Stephanie online by chance for Families in Literacy? Stephanie? Anybody see her up there, Dave? Okay. A couple of things real quick. I told you about Marta. Y'all familiar with Lucy's husband, Kenneth Wilkie? Do y'all know? Kenneth had a heart attack on Monday. Yeah, my partner. And we were together Saturday and Sunday, and he goes down Monday morning. Thank God for our fire department. Thank God for Lucy, because he gets hit hard, and she comes out of the summit and gets the central fire. His pain's so bad, gets the central fire. And of course, for those of you that don't remember, Kenneth used to be a fire person before he was a policeman. They jumped all over it, glycerin, took care of him, got him to Peterson. Couldn't fly him to Texan because of the fog. Peterson did an awesome job. Heart doctor was right there at ER. I mean, it's a great story, and I won't get into all those details, but thank God he's fine. 2 stents, 1 more to come later on, but he got discharged at 11:40. So keep him in your prayers, keep Martha in your prayers. Anybody else have anything on Families and Literacy? I mean, Families and Rotary? Okay. On his foot, so they didn't hurt him at all. Yeah. He is good. All right. Well, as long as they didn't do anything above the neck, that man is so smart and scary. Right, Bob? Where are you, Bob? All right, we have some announcements before we introduce our wonderful guests here. on their program. So Kenneth Early, you want to speak to us about IRS matter? Okay.
All right, so how many of you are familiar with the new Build Back Better reconciliation bill that is being discussed? All right, that's the $3.5 trillion spending package. Lumped into that right now, it's been removed, but lumped into that originally was an issue where every transaction above $600 is going to be reported to the IRS. A lot of people think that that's already being done in some way, shape, form, or fashion. Banks do not report anywhere to the IRS with exception of, like everyone else, 1099s, W-2s, all of that. All those things are normal. We don't report transactions to the IRS. We report them to the Department of Defense. And that's for anti-money laundering reasons. And it's Treasury, which has a part of the Department of Defense. Nonetheless, Treasury doesn't. Well, anyway.
You're talking about FinCEN.
Yeah, all that. So we're not reporting anything to the IRS right now. They're wanting to put that back in this legislation before it passes. And at one point, they raised the limit to $25,000, but they've come back to say that it is actually going to be put back in. So why should this matter to you? I think it's obvious that it should matter because that's an invasion of your privacy. But nonetheless, if you're doing everything right, great. So what? Well, what at $600, you can imagine some scenarios where you may have received money from someone for something you paid for, and now you're going to get questioned by the IRS as to what that is. So for the banking system, it's a huge expense. Guess where that money is going to come from to pay for that? You. So I just wanted to make you aware that's still going on. And so if you have any way to talk to senators, congressmen, whatever, do it. Find a way to voice your opinion. The banking associations were hot and heavy on this. We had over 150,000 Texans that registered their complaint to our senator. And that's when it got pulled, but that's all died off now. So it's coming back around. So if you have the chance to register maybe you want it, I don't know, register that. If you don't want it, be sure and register that too. All right, just want to bring you up to speed.
Come on. Yep. They can't hear you online. Come on up.
Howdy. Once again, our folks at the Salvation Army Croc Center, they take super good care of us. And I noticed when I walked in the door on their flashing screen there, they're having a fill the freezer event. Donations of 10 to 12 pound turkeys are needed for their free annual community Thanksgiving, which they hold on Thursday, November 25th. If you would like, you can buy a frozen turkey and drop it off in the freezer here at the Croc. I just want to make sure that everybody was aware. Thanks.
Thanks, Tina. Miss Tammy. Wow.
Hey guys, I just wanted to send to remind you, I've sent out one email. I'll be sending out more. I posted on our Facebook, but we are hosting our South Texas Blood and Tissue Center blood drive on Monday, November 29th. It'll be at Kerrville Motors, and we really need people to sign up. And when I say we really need to, I mean South Texas Blood and Tissue Center are now having to ration the blood that they have. Hospitals are having to cease giving, having elective surgeries. It's really affecting how healthcare is being provided to people who are non-emergent. So I'm hoping that you will sign up, get your blood drive, make your appointment for your blood drive. If you look on your email, there is a link. All you have to do is click it and select the spot. We have 4 people signed up so far for 24 spots. So you've always come through for us before. I hope you can do it again. We were having quarterly blood drives. We're now going to have semi-annual. So I'm not going to be coming back in 3 more months. So we need you to help us out there. So thank you so much.
What's the date again? 20?
November 29th. That's a Monday. It's from 10 to 3 and it's at Kerrville Motors.
Okay. Come on, Dave.
Yes, it's that time and I'm back. I've been gone. You didn't even notice I was gone on purpose. But here's what's up. We are a little bit on fire doing our job with the bell ringing for the Kroc Center. Keep in mind, to be honest, folks, we're kind of heroes for the Kroc Center and the folks they serve. We do a good job, but we're light this year. So what that means is y'all got a note from me today saying, look at November 27th. That's a Saturday after Thanksgiving. The entire afternoon is open. Okay, nobody's there. Well, actually, Clint Morris and his wife have signed up for 4 o'clock. But the point is, if we don't get more people to sign up, I'm going to cancel it because there's nobody there to ring the bell. This is on one of the biggest shopping days. So my point is, if you have time on November 27 in the afternoon, if you have time on December 4, okay, we're needing help. On December 18th, I think I've got 6 slots. That's 2 people to a slot, 12 people, but 6 times that aren't open. I mean, we can't do it. Nobody's there. So if you have a chance, please join us. It's fun. It makes you feel good. And I like to feel good, especially around Christmas. Now, if you don't have a chance and you want to just give money, that helps too. This is about giving money for folks who need it. I'm going to have this right on this table right there. If you're so inclined and don't want to ring or whatever, just stick some money in. But at the end of the day, I'm going to be in that chair today after Rotary. For anybody who knows what their schedule is, I'll have it on my PC and you can sign up today. So thank you all. Okay.
Outstanding. Outstanding. And that's doctor prescribed medication. That's not black market. Okay. Come on, Gov. Talk to us. He's my neighbor, by the way. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
I put you in the last because you had the most.
Oh, because I have the most to say, because I talk a lot. Here's my money for my announcement.
That's not enough.
That is plenty. On your tables, I'm here personally right now for my nonprofit, which is the Ultimate Gift of Life. What we do is educate people about organ donation, and then we encourage everyone to become a registered donor. We do one fundraiser a year, and it's Tiny Trees of Hope. Basically, you can donate to support the nonprofit, and at certain levels, you get a tiny, fully decorated Christmas tree. These will be on display at Grape Juice this week, starting Thursday at 4 o'clock and going till Saturday evening. Now, the cool thing about this is if you get at the 250 level, you can tell me what colors you want. It could be your bank colors, Kenneth, isn't that nice? It could be your favorite school colors. You could, if you like animals, I can put polar bears on it and I can put dogs on it. I have a trouble with cat ornaments, but otherwise it's good. So this is my fundraiser. This is my one chance to say, please support Ultimate Gift. There are still 10,000 Texans right now on the waiting list, and they need organs. And if we get more people registered, there may be organs. So thank you. That's that. Robin asked me to talk a little bit about foundation, and I know that all of you get a magazine, the Rotarian, I think it's called, but they changed the name, so I don't know, but you get it once a month. Is that right, the Rotarian? Rotary, not Rotarian, Rotary, got it. What I made is a quick handout, and this handout highlights our 7 areas of focus within Rotary. And yes, used to be 6, for 100 and some years it was 6, now it's 7. So real quickly, if you'll just look at this with me, the first one is we fight disease around the world. And when we say that, we always think about polio. We always think about polio, but there's a reason why it's called Polio Plus, because there are other vaccines in there besides the polio vaccine. And if you look at this, we do a lot of stuff to fight disease that isn't polio. Yes, polio is there, but there's a lot of other stuff with it. Number 2 is we support education all over the world. This first sentence shocked me. More than 775 million people over the age of 15 are illiterate. Think about that. That's not just in other countries. That's here too. And Rotarians do fight that. There are grants to fight that in terms of providing education, building schools, all of those kinds of things all over the world. The third one is we build peace. And we are the only organization that has peace and conflict resolution as one of our areas of focus. And I know, I've been to Del Rio, they do projects over the border with a sister Rotary club in Mexico. I know of Rotary clubs all over our district that come together to do polio events, to do hunger drives for people who are not sure where their next meal is coming from. So that's that one. Number 4, we provide clean water. And again, 2.3 billion people lack access to adequate sanitation. Those are big numbers. 900 children under the age of 5 die each day from diarrheal diseases. We have to do better. And Rotary International does that. These are the things that a support of the foundation goes towards. We grow local economies. We do grants. We do loans that are interest-free to try and grow local economies. We save mothers and children, healthcare clinics, education about being a parent, all of those types of things. And then our brand new one is protecting the environment. Rotary is saying basically, we need to do better. Several years ago, we planted trees, a bunch of them. Remember that? Yeah. And we had a goal of doing one for every member, which at that time was 175. We ended up planting over 200 trees. So I believe Rotary can do anything. This club has a goal that everybody in the club will donate to the foundation this year. At least $25. Would be awesome if you would do 100. Would be awesome. Is something going on here that I don't know about? Oh, okay. This happens whenever I speak at clubs now. It just happens that way. Anyway, consider this. There is a brochure. I only put like one on each table, but this talks about leaving a legacy to Rotary. I am one of those people who has put Rotary in my will. I know that what I give at the time of my death is going to further the efforts of Rotary, and it is through the foundation. It's very easy to donate. You can make a one-time donation on November 30th, which is, I guess now, National Giving Day. Is that right? Day of Giving. Thank you. National Day of Giving. You could make a donation to the Rotary Foundation. But I know President Jeff has made this a priority. I know that Robin is working very hard to get our club. There are a couple things, like every Rotarian every year. That would be if every person gave at least $25. So please think about it. There are lots of times when I sit and I turn on the TV and there's some major disaster happening somewhere else in the world. And I support the foundation, and I take great comfort in knowing that there are Rotarians in other places that have access to funds, whether it's a major disaster or an uprising. And I take great solace in the fact that my dollars are going towards something good. So thank you very much.
And to put life into perspective, since 1999, 841,000 people in the United States have died from drug overdose. Do you know that? 841,000 people have died since 1999. In 2019, 71,000 people died of drug overdose. 200 people a day. And on that happy note, Charlie, you want to come introduce our guest?
I didn't want Dave to be the only individual up here with a hat today. And the other thing, one of the great things, Jeff just mentioned a staggering statistic, but when you look at the stock show participants, the kids that are involved in stock show, the judges hardly even know who they are because these kids have responsibilities. They are busy. They do not have time to get into trouble. They are some of the greatest kids you will ever meet. And you know that the leadership skills they're learning through the stock show and their agricultural programs will benefit the entire community down the road. Of course, the stock show here in Kerrville has been around a while, and it's going through some changes, and I know they'll be discussing that, but it has been the 5th largest stock show in the state of Texas and the largest stock show in the state of Texas. It is totally volunteer operated. There is not a single paid position with the stock show here. So that's a pretty unique situation. We have 2 of those individuals speaking to us today. The gentleman that will speak, I believe you're going to be speaking second, Steve. Okay. So, but I'll give you his bio first. Steve Bauer grew up in Stonewall, Texas, and graduated from Texas A&M University. He worked as a ranch manager and then began working for the old Warner Feeds. And eventually he purchased the business and opened Double L Feed in Ingram in 2000. Since then, he has added the Double L Feed here in Kerrville and the Back 40. Steve has been married to Mary Beth for 36 years. They have 2 adult children. And in addition to running his businesses, Steve ranches and he serves the community. He's been an active volunteer for the stock show for 20 years, serving the past 8 years as president of that organization. And he is also president of the Kerr County Farm Bureau and has been so for over 20 years. Our first speaker is the current president, Rusty Henderson. And Rusty was born and lived in Kerr County his entire life. He graduated from Tybee High School, attended Tarleton State University and Texas A&M University. He started working for the Kerrville Telephone Company in 1977, has endured the various mergers and acquisitions that they've gone through over the years, and is now the local manager for that operation. Rusty's been married to Becky for 30 years. They have 3 grown children, and he has been on the board of the Livestock Commission since 1978 and continues to serve. He has been the market lamb superintendent for the last 17 years, has served as the treasurer for the executive committee for 10 years, and now has just gone in as the current president. And he is proud to represent the finest youth operation in the great state of Texas. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Rusty Henderson for our first speaker and Steve Bauer for our second.
Thank you, Charlie. Appreciate it. Just And we want to say, Steve and I both want to say thank you for the Rotary Club inviting us today and Charlie for asking us to speak. And the stock show, as Charlie said, has undergone a lot of changes in the last year and a half. Last year, the pandemic shut us down on the district part of the show. We always have the Kerr County show, and then we have the district show. We have had in the past around 2,400 entries in our show out there. These kids come to the district show from 33 counties in the state of Texas. And Steve will be talking about it more in a little bit, but we try to issue between $40,000 and $50,000 worth of scholarships every year to youth organizations. So we've been doing this a long time. We've only been able to do it because of the community that we live in and the ones that have supported us through the years. And we were very fortunate during all these changes that we had Steve as president. He led us through a lot of changes. Last year, since we had the district show canceled, we only had the county show, which in turn, we talked to a lot of the buyers, a lot of the sponsors. They are tickled to death that we are now giving more emphasis to our county kids. And I mean, it's good, the district kids also, but we're giving our county kids a lot of showing too that we have neglected in the past. So last year, our sale was $1.2 million for 206 units in our sale. So it's you people that made that possible, and we appreciate that more than you'll ever know. But again, we thank you. We appreciate any support that y'all give us. And you're not just supporting us, you're supporting those youth. And they're the ones that matter. They're our future leaders, and that's what we're trying to help them be. And at this time, I'll let Steve talk about our sale, which the show is going to be January the 6th through the 8th. This year, everybody can come out and watch the show. And then the sale will be at noon on Saturday the 8th. And we'd appreciate all the support we can give. Thank y'all.
I'd just like to echo what Rusty said. We want to thank you for the opportunity to come speak to y'all today. I was before this group myself about 10 years ago. I thought about it the other day when Charlie asked me to do this, except at that time I had a blonde young lady about that high that I looked right in the eye. Now my daughter came with me and spoke at that time. She made a comment that day. She said, well, I was raised in the barn. Well, that's what those kids are. They're raised in a barn. They're busy, they're doing their projects, and they're succeeding in life. I can tell you today, that young lady lives in Dallas, unfortunately, a long way away. Got my granddaughter up there, wish she were closer, but anyway, they're being successful, and that's what we pride ourselves on with these kids. We help them get them through these programs, through this show, and they move on in life. We've got doctors, we've got lawyers, we've got vets, we've got every career I think you can imagine that has gone through that barn now. But it can't be done without the support of the community. And that's what we're here for. We need the support of the community. Like Rusty said, and I'm thrilled to death about this. It's going to be Kerr County. It's going to be the Kerr County show. Those kids are going to be spotlighted, highlighted, and they get to have their own show this year, just like they did last year, because of the input from our buyers and our sponsors. They like that. We do too. So in January 6th through the 8th, mark that on your calendar. You want to see some of the finest kids around that know yes, sir, no, sir, yes, ma'am, and no, ma'am, and can carry on a good conversation, an intelligent conversation, and know about their project and what they're doing. Come out there and visit with them. They love to visit with you. They love to tell you about what they're doing. And that's what's great about them. Our sale, like Rusty said, last year is 1.2 million. We've hit that mark pretty consistently the last couple of years. We have a lot of ways that you can contribute. You can write us a check. If you need a write-off, I'm gonna throw this out early. Before the first of the year, we've got the bookings to do that. Give me a call Rusty. We can take that check, get it so you can use that as your deduction, and we can use it in that sale next year. Come out to the sale yourself. Any donation is welcome. We also have buyer packets that start at $2,500 and go up in increments, 25, 5,000, 10,000, and 15,000. We encourage you to participate in that as an advertising program. There's some advertising perks that come along with that as well, so that you could use those as advertising write-offs in your businesses. We will also have online. We had great success with that last year. If you don't want to come, we understand. But you want to contribute, maybe help a grandson, granddaughter, whatever, niece, nephew. It's a great way to do that. We had great success with that. I'll share with you that number. We did almost over $50,000 worth of business just online donations last year to that sale. So we look forward to that again. I'll be available afterwards for a little while. Rusty will be here as well. Please come out and help us. Support these kids. Y'all have all been great donors. I know I see many of the familiar faces in here that are already on that donor list, and we appreciate that. From the bottom of our hearts, we say thank you for that. At that, I'm going to exit to the left here and turn it back. One quick note, thanks for the song. That was great. I really appreciate that. So that's great. Thank you all. Okay. Yes. Okay, fire away.
The reason I wanted y'all to come today is I don't know anything about the stock show. I know that lots of very nice looking kids in the newspapers are winning lots of awards, and that's great, and that's interesting. But what projects do they do? What happens to the 1.2 million? I mean, tell us about
Okay.
what you're doing.
Well, let's start at the beginning. All of these kids are either 4-H or FFA members. They're in the 4-H clubs here or in the FFA chapters at the schools. Those kids then choose their projects. They'll either be market goats, market lambs, market steers, market hogs. And then we also have some breeding programs. Those kids don't actually sell their animals when they get into breeding sheep, the heifers and the gilts and stuff like that. Those are what we call, I kind of have a little favoritism toward those because that's where my kids cut their teeth. That's our foundations. Those are the ones that raise those animals all the way up and show them. But these kids start, steers is about a 12-month project. Lambs and goats, Rusty, 6 months, 6 months. Hogs about 3 to 4 months long. They feed these, they watch them every day. They're in those pens with them. They get to know these animals. And you look at them and you go, well, it's not feeling real good today. Rusty and I were just talking about that. They're having a little problems with some of their goats this year. But they learn to treat them. They have relationships with our vets here in town. They recognize those things. So they learn feeding, they learn companionship, responsibility, all of that with them. Then come showtime, they groom them. They clean them up, they wash them. They may trim a little hair, stuff like that in different places. They bring them down there. They'll bring them in the show ring. We have professionals from the field, people that raise hogs professionally, market goats, market lambs. They judge them. They go through there and it is really fun to watch some of these judges because they interact with those kids and they'll talk to them and say, you know, this lamb lacked a little finish up across the top, but other than that, everything came together. Same thing with a steer. So it teaches them what they need to change, what could make that animal better, and go from there. It culminates with the sale. We've changed it. We don't run the animals through the sale anymore. They're now a premium sale. Makes it a little easier on everybody there. The animals aren't stressed. They're out of the picture. The kids come through, they're carrying a number and everything, and they move right through. The buyers, the supporters bid on those animals. That money goes back to those kids. The association does take a small percentage off of the top. That's our operating costs. To put on this show, there are expenses, and we have to cover those. I think anybody can understand that and knows that with any organization. But that money goes right back to them. This association writes those kids those checks. Most of those kids turn around, come back, buy next year's projects with them, put some away in a college fund or whatever their plans are, and move forward with it. And like Rusty also alluded to, we also have a big scholarship program that we're very proud of. Generally about 40, 50,000 a year that we give in scholarships to these kids as well. So did that kind of give you a good cover? All right. Charlie, yes, sir. The AgMech. Okay. AgMech is a program that kind of helps the kids that maybe don't want to show animals, don't have a place to do it, but they work through the FFA programs and the 4-H programs, and they build things. There's gates, there's gun safes, there's barbecue pits, trailers. It's unlimited what you see out there. The quality and workmanship is phenomenal. A lot of times these projects are actually supported by somebody, say myself, say I need a trailer. I would furnish the materials and so forth to the ag chapter, tell them what I needed. They would build it. In turn, they get to exhibit that, and they get to travel all over the state of Texas during that time, exhibiting that and then bringing it back, and it becomes my possession at that point. That show is part of the district show. And I want to clear something up here. We did break the district show from the county show. It's going to be Kerr County Stock Show. It's what we've been talking about. The district show is being put on by a different organization. Many of our folks are still involved with it. It will be held in different locations. Part of it will be held here in Kerr County, part of it in Gillespie County and Kendall County. It will fall that third week of January, as our regular show always has. That will take the place of the district show. That's where the AgMech part will be, because it's part of that district show. It encompasses those 33 counties that Rusty alluded to. So is that, everybody understand what we're saying is those two, we've split ways, but we're still supporting each other and want to be supportive of the kids. Yes, sir.
How many kids for the district show and then for the county show?
District show, we had about 1,200 exhibitors, and they had, like Rusty said, about 2,200, 2,400 projects. So kids can enter numerous projects. So that's why that number is higher. County show, I want to say we have 250 kids last year, I believe. That's somewhere right in that number.
206 units.
206 units went through the sale. So kind of gives you an idea there. Okay. Any other questions that we can clear up? If not, again, yeah, Jeff?
Just let the club know, for the last 9-10 years, the club has put a budget item in our budget. All the presidents.
Yes.
I spend $2,000 to $2,500 every year from our club buying animals at the sale. A lot of times it's an add-on. We might take club members or people that we know and just add on to their money, but we are supporting it. If you or your business, like Steve said, wants to support otherwise, let me know. I'm on that committee with these guys.
Yep.
And we have access to all that. We'll get you hooked up. So just let you know, it's something that it's great. My kids both went through the program, and gee, Steve, both of our kids are about the same age.
Yep.
So we've been together doing it for 23 years.
And I'm gonna pick on Rusty just a little bit. We always do this, but this is an honor. Four generations of his family now have been in this organization, either as leadership or gone through the ring. So speaks very highly for the longevity of this program right there. I was asked to give my phone number. I don't mind. Call me at any time. Cell phone number is 830-739-0544. You can't get a hold of me that way. Either one of the double L's, leave a message there. I'll get it. I'll call you back. Call Jeff, Rusty, 739-4500. Trey Ditmar, my manager at the other store, is on the sales committee with us as well. So we'd love to work with y'all again. Thank y'all very much. Appreciate your time.
Thank you, sir. All right, so who's gonna write the first check? Thank you so much for being here and briefing us. Outstanding. I know Jeff's been involved in it for years. Very successful program all over the state. So, tracking pretty good here. So we're gonna have a badge exchange today, but EA busy at the city, main event. We met the other night and visited about the main event. Martha's not here to brief you and I don't want to get ahead of her. So we'll get a message out. Let me get a hold of her, see where she is with mom and find out if we were able to make some changes that we talked about. George and Marta and I and Judy Eichner were there and visited. Highway cleanup this weekend. Tally Elementary, 7:30. Bloody Marys, I mean, coffee and blood drive 29. Tammy's at Tim's lot, which is it still, are you getting anything in?
Don't leave your doors unlocked.
Don't leave your doors. Freya and I ordered a replacement car for her, the cars that she likes to drive, and we ordered it in February. We'd still be waiting. And I called Averett Knapp over at Caldwell the other day, and I said, Averett, I bought about 18 vehicles from him, and police service and stuff like that. And so I called Averett and I said, Averett, you told me that I got the 19, I only got about 40,000 miles. We didn't drive much last year because of COVID. But I love this new body style. What do you think? He said, Jeff, I got about 5 pages here. I'll put you on the list. He said, GM, of course, Tim knows all about that. General Motors sold out the PPV, Police Pursuit Vehicle allotment for 2022. All the vehicles were sold in 10 days. So I know y'all are not in the car business, but Averett buys about 3,500 police Tahoes a year. So times have changed until we get this chip thing worked out. So December the 8th is the Rotary holiday party. Brief up on that for us. Tell us a little bit more where we are. On Avery Drive, right there, down from. Yep.
I think it's gonna start at 6:30.
Good.
And we're gonna have entertainment.
What, are you the entertainment?
No.
Okay. Who's going to be the entertainment?
A guy out of San Antonio.
Okay. Does he do anything special? Is it a snake thing or
No.
big insects or what are we doing here? Music? Music? Cool. All right. I'm fixing to ring this bell. Anybody got anything else? Governor, anything?
No, thank you for doing what you do.
Yes.
Honestly, wow, my heart. I visited a lot of clubs. I always come home and I'm just really proud of what we do here. Y'all are awesome.
Are you from another club? And it's in Ohio? Okay, thank you. No, anyway, come on up. Come on up and introduce yourself. We got time. These people are not conditioned to staying after 1 o'clock, so I'm creeping up on the time here. Yeah. Oh, my goodness. Tomorrow. No, I think it's the 1st, isn't it? Jimmy? RSVP on the Christmas party? Is it the 1st? 1st of December. You betcha. Come on up. Introduce yourself to these fine folks.
Hello, I am Rosalie
Step up a
Distel
little bit more so the mic.
from Tiffin, Ohio, which is in Northwest Ohio. And I'm visiting family down here, which I've done several times for the last 10 years. Full disclosure, I'm not a Rotarian. I'm also not a Lions Club or anything like that. I'm not a spy. I was hired by our Tiffin Rotary as an administrative assistant, so I am a paid position. I don't know how you do it here, but anyway, I brought this along from Tiffin, Ohio, to give to the Kerrville.
Nice.
It's my pleasure to be here.
We should probably give her one and take back, no?
It would be
I think
nice.
Governor Christie's probably got one. Great, thank
All right,
you.
thank you.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
I was born in Cleveland.
Oh, is that?
Arr! Lakewood General. That's a hospital near Cleveland, okay? Anybody else? Going once, going twice, oh, I'm sorry, going twice, we're good? All right. Stand for the four-way test.